Hey, Numerouno here. I've been barbecuing and smoking meat for years and years, and I noticed when we host big tournaments, 150 college coaches come a day, watching these kids play, the one thing that's never left at the end of the day is my pulled pork, slow smoked shoulder. I get about a 7-pound pork shoulder. I rub it with a bunch of love, put it in, smoke it for 15 hours. That's one thing that ends up not a drop left at the end of the day. So today we're going to show you how we rub this pulled pork, what we do to make this thing dance in the smoker. I start off with brown sugar. I add all these spices to it. I rub it, and one key thing is that pulled pork's got to have the bone in it. I don't know what it does, but you have to smoke pork or smoke any meat with a bone in it. It doesn't matter if it's pulled pork, river roast. I mean, you're not going to debone a turkey on Thanksgiving, are you? You got to have the bone in it. So we're going to start with my basic rub. Start with brown sugar. I add crushed chili flake, garlic, sage. You can mix it any way you want it. It's got to be made to taste. Sriracha powder. I love sweet basil, rosemary, black pepper, mustard, allspice, onion powder, little chili powder. Gotta have smoked paprika, just have to have it. Cayenne pepper, gotta have a little kick. And cumin. I never really liked cumin, but I had cumin now. I started putting it in my homemade barbecue sauce. If you overdo cumin, it really kicks you. It's not good if you overdo it, but I like putting a little bit of cumin in. And when you're swallowing that last piece of meat, the cumin goes right down. It gives you a little slap on your taste buds. Gotta have a little cumin. It's a must. Gonna mix it all together. Then I added my special seasoning at the end. It's got a salt mixture with a bunch of different things in this seasoning. Can't tell you what I put in this, because you know the deal. If I tell you what's gonna happen, it have to happen. So I can't tell you what's in that. You just gotta make this, season this, so you have enough spice, enough salt, enough sugar, so it soaks into that beautiful piece of meat. So here's my about 7.5 pound pork shoulder, bone in. Gotta have the bone in. Can't be chintzy. You gotta rub this thing, put the love into it. You gotta massage this like you would massage honey on a bee's back. You gotta rub it. You gotta put the love into it. Bone in. Great piece of meat. Price is right. Feed about 20 people. Little homemade slaw on top. What I like to do is I rub this a day or two before. Let it sit in. Get all the crevices. I wrap it tight with Reynolds wrap, that I'll show you after this. Inject it with some apple cider vinegar. And we're going to come back and let you see after what we do to smoke this thing. After we rub this thing, sometimes I wrap it first real tight with Reynolds wrap, and then I eject it. I'm just going to do this right now to get this over with. I got things to do. So you take this meat. It's a mixture of a little apple cider vinegar. I add a little water to it. Sometimes I add some balsamic vinegar to it. They're always different, but they're always great. So you just poke a bunch of holes in this piece of pig. Inject it over and over again. Don't break off the tip. And just do it multiple times on the sides, the bottom. Inject it. Apple cider vinegar, a little water. Then you let it set 1 or 2 days before we smoke it. So here we are. It's been over 24 hours. The meat's been in the refrigerator with all the spice love around it. got me a nice injector to inject the apple cider vinegar, and got the barbecue wood chip smoke soaking for about an hour so they don't burn, just smoke. I use cherry and apple, and we're getting going. I'll be back. So here's day 3 of my pulled pork. First day I made the rub, gave the pork a little love. We wrapped it tight in Reynolds wrap, injected apple cider vinegar into it. I like this smoker. I also use a Traeger, which is awesome, but I like this smoker for pork. It gets a little more moisture, it seems like. In the bottom here I have apple and cherry wood is what I usually use. Soak it for an hour so it doesn't burn, it smokes. Then we have a water tray. And what I did with this water tray was I put a drip system in it. You can see at the back. Not sure if you can see it because all the smoke. I'm actually filling up right now. Usually it's dripping because the pork takes so long. It gets dry, so instead of me waking up 3 or 4 times a night to add water, it's a little drip all night long, so it keeps the tank full, the reservoir full of water. Here's what we got out of this so far. We're at about 13 hours right now. I usually go 14 to 15 on this, at about 200. I was asked to smoke a couple of these for a Christmas boutique at a buddy's house, and this is what we got. I'm not sure you can see. The sun's out, shining in my eyes. Beautiful day in Southern California. I'll be back once we let the pork cool down and pull it. See you soon. Here's the finished. There's the one full one still. There's the shredded pulled pork. I'll show you shortly what it looks like when we put it together. 15 hours. Slow cooked pulled pork with coleslaw.